Pregnancy can be an anxious time for many mums, and with coronavirus pandemic in full force, is causing many expectant mothers to worry.
As hospitals try to contain the virus, pregnant women are being asked to attend scans alone, home births are being cancelled and partners are being asked to stay away from maternity wards.
Well, in just a moment, we'll be getting Dr Phillipa's take on it. But first, we can speak to expectant mum Gemma Summers, who is due to give birth later on this month. Hello, Gemma. Thank you for joining us. I mean, congratulations on your pregnancy, first of all, but I know this is an extremely worrying time for you. I think you're due to have your second baby on the 27th of April. This is an elective caesarean that you're having. So what have they told you at the moment about the caesarean that you're going to have?
Well, I've actually got an appointment with the consultant next Wednesday to go through it because my last birth was a normal birth, so we don't actually know what to expect at the moment. I had a midwife appointment last week and they've basically told me that my husband can be in there for the birth and then basically hold the baby, and then he'll have to go home, and then we won't see him until I'm discharged.
And how does that make you feel?
If my last birth was okay, then I probably would feel all right about it, or a tiny bit better. But my last birth was really traumatic and I got PTSD afterwards. So I've only just managed to feel comfortable going into the hospital anyway. But now the fact that I'm going to be on my own after the birth anyway is just made it even more of an anxious time, really.
And I mean, you will be, I guess, you know, your partner won't be with you, but you will have the medical staff there, so you won't be on your own. You will have the support from them. You have concerns that what is already a stretched area with midwives is going to be even more tricky in the current climate.
Yeah, I'm quite worried that like you say, the midwife's already stretched as it is. Because obviously after a C-section you can't sit up on your own, you can't feed the baby, you can't pick the baby up, and you know, you don't want to keep hassling the midwives when they've already got lots to do anyway. So yeah, I am really worried about that, about the recovery afterwards. I mean, I've looked into how quickly I can actually discharge myself afterwards. I spoke to the CQC to see if I can get out earlier. They said I can discharge against medical advice if I want to.
Let's have a word with Phillipa on your behalf and on everyone else's behalf who happens to be going through this at the moment. Phillipa, I mean, we understand that these restrictions are in place, and Holly and I were talking about it earlier on, because in actual fact you'd probably be more nervous if you were in a hospital ward and there were loads of people around other beds. Yeah. But still, you know, this is a very emotional time at the best of times, but especially now, this can be very tricky.
Absolutely, and we know how the hormones around pregnancy, plus all the expectations around pregnancy and delivery and afterwards, have a really significant impact on women's mental health. And we also know that the support of a birth partner during delivery is really important, so much so that the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists last weekend put out guidance to hospitals to say that patients must be allowed to have one birth partner. We used to allow them to have two, but we're trying to decrease footfall through the hospital, so you are allowed one birth partner. They have then said that it's up to hospitals about antenatal appointments and postnatally, so after the delivery. In a situation like this, where there's been a really traumatic birth and some post-traumatic stress, when you see your consultant next week, I would really talk about those fears and really talk about them, because it may be that if you're in a side room, for example, that birth partner can come and see you afterwards. But you will get support, and you will get support both in hospital and out of it. That yes, midwives are affected by sickness, same as all healthcare professionals, but they only put in the number of elective caesareans on a day that they think they can manage. Also, with regards to the fact that there will also be emergencies going on. So as long as they're saying that it's safe for you to go, then I would say that it is safe to do so.
And what about the suspension of home births as well?
So when we have a situation where the resources that we have are really stretched, and I think it's a fifth of midwives at the moment, the positions are unfilled, and then you add in sickness and self-isolation, and there's going to be fewer posts. And in order to have a home birth, you're taking a midwife away from the labour ward into the home situation, and that obviously takes more time. So there's that requirement. And the second thing is that our ambulance services are extremely stretched at the moment. And if unfortunately something were to happen during a home birth, what you would be relying on is the ambulance service to be able to get you to a hospital really quickly. And as we know that the ambulances are really stretched, although it can often not be what women want, and I'm really sorry about that, it seems more sensible to say that everybody should be delivering in hospital where they can access help quickly if they need it.
Phillipa, what are the risks to pregnant women and to newborn babies?
With regards to COVID-19?
Yeah.
So we know that there has been one case of vertical transmission. That means transmission through the placenta to the baby, but only one case, bearing in mind how many thousands of pregnant women were affected in China. And it doesn't seem to have any impact on the baby during its development in the womb. Due to the immune system changes that happen when you're pregnant, you're more likely to get corona as a pregnant woman, but you don't seem to be more likely to have complications from that. Unfortunately, there has been one case reported a couple of days ago of a woman in Spain who passed away during pregnancy from COVID, but not a huge number of women getting into trouble with real complications from it. We also know that it doesn't transmit through the breast milk, so you can continue to breastfeed.
And the sad loss in Spain of the pregnant woman, that could have been something else that was exacerbated by the virus.
So we don't know very much about it. We know that it's been reported as related to COVID, but there may have been an underlying, for example, an underlying heart condition that could have affected the pregnancy and her risks when it came to COVID. And that's why pregnant women who have a heart condition are being told to isolate for the whole of their pregnancy, as opposed to just in the last trimester, which is what everybody else is being told.
Yeah. Gemma, we wish you the best of luck. I know it's not ideal. I know it's not what you planned for, but you will be absolutely fine. We have the best healthcare service in the world within the NHS, so you are in great, great hands, I'm sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
You take care.
Take care.
Happy
All
birthday.
right.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much.